So we put out an article today detailing LSU's 9 or 10 maybe transfer captures here in the early part of the offseason. You know, guys like Denver Harris, Aaron Anderson. You know, we really liked how LSU started off their action in the portal, right? We really were encouraged by who LSU signed via the portal. And Aaron Anderson, 5-star, number 1 national wide receiver of his class, fantastic signing. Denver Harris, even though, you know, people can say whatever they want about off-field things going on, I don't care. This guy has shut down cornerback pedigree. And all the stuff off-field is overblown anyway. Going beyond all of that, one tends to forget, especially when the news isn't rattling off as consistently as it was, who LSU have already lost heading into the year, okay? And we focused it on that, of course, but we like to focus on who LSU still has, keep it more of who's there rather than who just left. But when you lose guys like Kayshon Boutte, Jack Besh, you know, some of these big-time names, big-time players, big-time talents, you know, you lose some of these guys, Ojulari, Roy to the draft, Jay Ward to the draft. You got to spend time on, you know, talking about it, you know, drawing attention to it. And I know that might get some LSU fans kind of hot and bothered about it, but it's like, we got to talk about the departures as much as the arrivals, right? That's kind of why we're getting these players from the transfer portal to begin with, right? To make up for who we're losing and who we might lose, okay? Trying to prepare for what's around the bend. Well, when you look at what's around the bend for LSU transfer portal-wise, you saw perhaps Garrett Nussmeier entering the transfer portal in his reaction to Jaden Daniels returning, right? You could see maybe Sage Ryan entering the portal because of all these DBs coming in. Jacobian Guillory potentially checking out because of all the DTs coming in, and he would be third on the roster anyway, behind Wingo and Mason Smith. There's, you know, a lot of these likely transfers, right? Well, today, when Mike Scarborough broke the news that LSU's redshirt freshman quarterback, well, I should just say true freshman quarterback, but incoming redshirt freshman quarterback Walker Howard, former 5-star number 1 quarterback of the 2022 class, will shockingly enter the transfer portal. This is staggering news. I don't care if you didn't like Walker Howard as a quarterback or whatever you felt, you were shocked by this news. Obviously, you know, Mike Scarborough goes back a long way with Jamie, a few years here. They're pretty close, from the same area, I believe. So Mike, you know, got the scoop, got the big, probably career-making breaking news story about Walker here. Walker Howard leaving LSU, the school of his father. You know, this is echoes of the same journey Jack Besh just made to the portal, where He left the school of his family, his two uncles. His parents both graduated from the school. His uncle won a national championship at the school. His other uncle was one of the top receivers of the early 90s for LSU. So, we see Walker Howard enter the portal. Immediately, this news is greeted with a lot of LSU fan denial. Oh, we didn't need Walker. Oh, Nussmeier is better than Walker anyway. Oh, we're fine with Jaden Daniels, and then we got Nussmeier. We're good. We got these guys. Oh, Nussmeier was better. You just hear it over and over and over. Walker wasn't that good. It's like, stop it. Admit that losing some of these guys is a negative. It sucks. Just admit it. It's okay. Sure, I'm 100% sure Brian Kelly will find some replacements in the transfer portal. I'm sure Brian Kelly will probably have to arm up with another quarterback from the portal. But to claim that the loss of a legacy quarterback of the talent of Walker Howard is not a massive hit with the type of future, type of potential in front of him is just crazy to me. Especially when you have a run-first quarterback who is just one injury away, as we've seen in some important moments, like the SEC title game. Here we were all thinking Garrett Nussmeier was going to leave, right? Well, this matches up just with the source that told us back in December that both Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier would be returning to LSU for the spring. At least for the spring. I didn't think about, Walker Howard's then going to transfer. But I did ask the question to that person. Does that mean Walker Howard's going to leave because of Jack Besh? He's going to follow his buddy Jack. That person only would reiterate Nussmeier and Daniels are both staying. Now it makes perfect sense of what was, this has probably been sown for a bit here. When Jaden Daniels and Mike Denbrock had that press conference together for the Purdue game, I don't know how Garrett Nussmeier would have felt about it. I don't know how Walker felt about it. But the way I could perceive that, the optics of that press conference would be, that's the number one quarterback of 2023. And that's the offensive coordinator who absolutely loves calling plays for him. And they're kind of sitting there like two peas in the pod. During that press conference, the body language was there. Everything was there to say, this is our quarterback for 2023. And, continuity-wise, duh. Experience-wise, of course. Chemistry-wise, probably, with Jaden Daniels coming in for 2 straight years. Obviously. The offensive staff getting a second year straight with the same quarterback. Obviously, that all of that bodes well for LSU. Obviously, you can't help but think Jaden Daniels will take those next steps in year 2. But right now, you can't help but feel there is just a vibe to me that LSU have pushed the chips into the middle and said, Walker can leave. Jack Besh can leave. Demario Tolan can leave. Garrett Nussmeier can leave. Jacobian Guillory can leave. Whoever wants to leave can leave. There's the door. But Jaden Daniels is our quarterback for year 2 here under Brian Kelly in 2023. Because we believe he is our best chance to win a national championship. That is the message I'm getting, pushing those chips right in. They're not saying, oh, everyone just leave because we want Jaden Daniels. But they've made it clear, this is our guy. If health works out, he continues that growth, he continues to be that best option for LSU, this is the guy. And I think from Walker Howard's standpoint, you see that. You understand the whole feeling that you're probably going at the end of everything with Garrett Nussmeier ahead as well. Just by age and seniority, and politics as well thrown in this, you'll probably be sitting on the bench for 2 straight seasons to begin your college career. Was that something that Walker was unwilling to accept? I don't blame him. He's good enough to play. And I think it hurts his development not to play. I understand why so many people would say, why are you saying Walker Howard's the, second coming of Joe Burrow? We haven't even seen him play yet, Why are you acting like this is such a big loss, yada, yada, yada. It's about potential. It's about the future. It's about, sure, LSU have a loaded quarterback room regardless. But when you've got one guy transferring here, one guy transferring there each year, you're whittling away your options. And suddenly that really promising, really deep quarterback room for LSU, now we've got Jaden Daniels, Garrett Nussmeier, and Ricky Collins. True freshman, redshirt guy who the offensive staff hasn't shown that they completely trust, and who's been rumored to be, 1 foot out the door at times throughout the offseason, even though our reports have said that he will stay until spring at least. But that doesn't necessarily still fill you with confidence. And then a quarterback who could either lead you to college football playoff contention or could get hurt doing it. Or could be a player who doesn't take that next step. Sometimes it's not always, transfer quarterback, experienced. As long as he gets that second year in, he's going to be great. He's going to be great in year 2 no matter what. Like, that doesn't always happen. That isn't always just 100% signed, sealed, and delivered. Especially when you have the receivers you do, you have to take advantage of them with this offense. Walker Howard, with the receivers going forward. Sheldon Sampson Jr., only a freshman. Kyle Parker, Jalen Brown, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors in a money year. Brian Thomas Jr. in a money year. Like, these are options for LSU that could absolutely win games, deliver college football playoff contention if unleashed. And I think Jaden Daniels can do it, and I think Jaden Daniels' legs can make LSU college football playoff contender, SEC West contender, SEC contender, because if he can run, Jaden Daniels, if we can get those yards out of the backfield from that platoon of running backs, and then add that cherry on top with the just complete dynamism from these receivers, then maybe the gamble, this one season kind of, put the chips in, one season run with Jaden Daniels, maybe it'd be worth it, but it is really hard to see any good feeling from this right now, saying to anybody, yes, it's a great thing to lose Walker Howard, or yeah, it's a positive, or yeah, got to find some silver lining in this somewhere. Well, it's hard to find. I understand LSU will probably still be high octane, college football playoff contending, no problem. But what about 2024? What about 2025? What about the future here when Walker Howard could have been starting for LSU? That's kind of where my thoughts go to, is what about the future? How big of a hit will this be for the future? If LSU can bridge their quarterbacks correctly year to year, it won't even be felt. But when you bridge these quarterbacks year to year, but you also are losing guys still, it just takes one injury to make everything go out of whack. It just takes one transfer to make everything go out of whack. It is really a shocking, stunning, saddening piece of news. This offseason has already been full of some blockbuster exits from LSU. Kayshon Boutte, Jack Besh, Walker Howard, Demario Tolan. And from what I'm being told, it's not the last. It's not the last of it. There's still to be some players leaving the program, which is to be expected. That's what happens every season with every college football program. But who those players are, the identity of those players, so very, very crucial. Right now, it seems like most Tiger fans would just blindly take Nussmeier to stay over Walker because Nussmeier has the in-game experience. But it's just very interesting to me how quickly things can change with the transfer portal. Guys who you never could foresee leaving a program. Now that option is there. Now it's as much of a business to them as it is to these coaches, where, a coach is building a dynasty at some place and then wins his third title or second title there, and then he's gone. And everyone's like, what the hell, you're building a dynasty? Well, I want to build it again. Like, whatever motivates those coaches to make those moves, that's what they're doing. And now you've got the players with the transfer portal able to say, hey, I got to start this next season, or I'm running out of time. Or hey, I need to go home. I already could be in the NFL, but I need to go home for this final season, take care of my family. Whatever it is, now you're seeing these players making those decisions for themselves. And good on Walker for taking his future into his hands and saying, I'm going to take control of this. But once again, I can't stress it enough. It sucks to see Walker Howard leave. I cannot emphasize how much it sucks. Walker is a great, great kid. Walker's supernaturally capable at quarterback. Comes from a great family, as all of you know. Absolutely great character. It's news LSU fans might have to take some getting used to for a bit. I see some denial, I see some anger, I see some sadness, I see some worry, some fear. I think what all LSU fans need to do right now is put everything in perspective. Don't get too emotional. I admit I've been a little emotional about this because it's a little annoying to see guys that you want to root for and want to cheer for and see play, and you see them leave. It sucks. There's nothing worse. But as for the future, I'm not sure how this shakes out for LSU or how it affects LSU. That all depends on Jaden Daniels' health, Jaden Daniels' improvement, and really whether Garrett Nussmeier stays or goes. Because now, if Garrett Nussmeier leaves as well, you've got a very, very bad situation in that quarterback room. You've basically gone from, just three kings on three separate thrones with kind of the main guy there in Jaden Daniels to who the hell do you even have now? That's, you got Jaden Daniels and then, a true freshman. That would be absolute nightmarish scenario. I don't think we'll see that, but I'm told there's more to come. So we'll see. Everybody, thank you for listening and for checking us out. This has been LSUODYSSEY.COM radio.